Unfortunately, not every woman is destined to be born beautiful. Sometimes nature endows us with an appearance that is difficult to call attractive. But it should be remembered that happiness not only in beauty, because health is much more important. Today I will tell you about a woman called Grace Horseface and about her tragic life story. So, her name was Grace McDaniels. She was born on March 14, 1888 in a small town Numa, Iowa State in USA. The baby was born in the farmer's family and from birth had very pretty appearance in which there was nothing special. The only noticeable feature that distinguished the girl from others was birthmark on her face. At first, parents did not pay much attention to black patch on skin, but when the spot began to grow, they realized that something was wrong with their daughter. At the age of 12, Grace's appearance began to change rapidly. As it turned out, the spot on the girl's face was completely not a birthmark. It turned out that she was sick with Sturge-Weber syndrome. This vascular disease was manifested in pigmentation skin as well as in the development of benign tumors. The face of the unfortunate Gracie began to distort greatly, and its parts became deformed. Adolescence, when girls usually turn into a beautiful woman, McDaniels became very ugly. The girl looked as if her face was some incomprehensible mass that made a person scary, repulsive doll. By the age of 20, Gracie's face looked like a real one-horse face. She really was ugly, but fortunately the disease did not touch her mind. Also, such cases are far not usual. Sturge-Weber syndrome is often accompanied by significant deterioration in mental abilities. However, Gracie possessed not only a kind soul but also with a bright mind. She was smart and nice, always tried to help people. There just weren't many people willing to chat and which want to be friends of a disfigured girl. In addition, over time, swelling around the court became so large that Gracie could not properly speak. Her words were now more like some incomprehensible chomping. How McDaniels went completely into her own world, consisting of books and thoughts about her difficult fate. Grace realized that she had very little chance of being happy. Then she made a decision to extract everything possible from her dubious appearance. One day, a woman decided to take part in a beauty competition, but the opposite one. At the competition, which took place in 1935, was supposed to be chosen America's scariest lady, and Grace of course won it. It's hard to imagine that in our time it has come to someone's idea to organize such event, and hardly anyone would dare to take part in it. But winning a strange competition completely changed life of Grace. The fact that the competition Young American was noticed by one important person, the owner of the Freak Circus. I must say that these shows were very popular in those times. Artists got good money and even fame, but highly doubtful. Better to be famous and rich than despised and poor, McDaniels thought. Immediately after the competition, Grace was invited to the troupe of Freak Circus. It was very difficult for a woman to overcome embarrassment and own pride to start showing off for fun on public. McDaniels tried her best not to show how it hurts her that everyone laughed at her ugliness, and the woman was generously rewarded for her suffering. She received an excellent salary which hardly anyone could get at that time. Grace was given nearly $200 per week for performance, at a time when the monthly salary of a builder was only $110 per month. The America began to buy herself everything she wanted, including beautiful shoes and dresses. So Grace tried to hide a little her ugliness, which ironically brought her so much money. Interestingly, the horse-faced woman even had fans. Gracie wanted to laugh so badly that one day, when she were a little bit drunk, she had sex with one of the circus workers and spent the night with him. However, in the morning the man admitted that he had argued with friends for $100 to sleep with a horse. These words were a real blow to the woman. but she used to being humiliated. In addition, the night with this bastard did not pass for 48 years old McDaniels without a trace. She gave birth to a boy 9 months later. Elmer was a healthy and, what is most interestingly, very handsome child. Grace felt perfectly happy growing up her boy. Elmer was madly in love with his mother, considering her the most beautiful woman in the world. The boy grew up and became a magnificent man. Elmer was indeed very handsome. In addition, his mother's money made him rich. The man became manager and administrator of his star mother. For many years, he did not need anything at all. However, the family idea was broken by the fact that Elmer became addicted to illegal substances and alcohol. He spent a lot of money on filth. At the same time, Grace's fame was slowly fading away. It all ended with the fact that the woman was left without a penny. She died in poverty in 1958 at the age of 70. A few years after the death of his mother, Elmer McDaniels also left this world. Drugs and alcohol turned him into a sick man and dragged him away at 30 to the grave. Grace wasn't pretty, but her life was full of pleasant moments. She was rich, loved by the public, even thought that it was all slipping out of her hands. But such is our fleeting and changeable life. At the same time, truly happy Grace did only her son, whom she simply adored. Also, her path on this earth was not cloudless. A woman with a horse face has experienced many joyful moments being next to her Elmer. That's all for today. If the video was interesting to you, support me with a like and don't forget to subscribe. See you soon. Bye.